I hurt myself. Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, over the weekend there was an intriguing heavyweight matchup between Adam Kownacki and Chris Arreola. Look, Kownacki's undefeated. It was a battle between what I consider a future gatekeeper, and Adam Kownacki, and Chris Arreola, today's gatekeeper. That's really what I'm getting at. Is I feel like that Kownacki has a good fan base behind him. You can see all that he sells a lot of tickets. He has a fun, fan-friendly style in that he hits and gets hits. He throws a lot of punches. They actually combined to set a record for most throwing punches from heavyweights in a 12-round fight. Congrats to them. Good fight. But I didn't see anything really special in Kownacki as far as can he compete for the heavyweight championship of the world, and especially with the heavyweight champions being Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and even Andy Ruiz right now. What do you think, Rachel? Do you think that my assessment of him is good or bad?
I think that it's correct, but I also think that that's okay too.
Yeah,
you know,
we need Adam Kownacki.
Right, without like
Kownacki?
Gatekeepers, contenders, up and comers, like that's what gives layers and depths to divisions.
Yeah,
and that's also how you figure out like who's at the top. And so we need, like, not everybody can be number one. Like, it's just actually impossible.
But
everybody can be number one with right where they're supposed to be.
Right.
So whatever is their, like, fulfillment of whatever they're going to be in their life, they can be number one at that. And for Arreola, it might be being a gatekeeper. So I know when he made this, like, or each time he's made a comeback, it's been with the hopes of, like, being heavyweight champion of the world. And I don't know that that's necessarily out of the question. Depends what happens with alphabet belts. So
it depends what you mean by heavyweight champion of the world.
So if it's just getting a belt, well, then that's not out of the question. But if it means being like the ring or TRB,
T-Burb, you just say T-Burb, it's easier.
TBRB champion, then I think that is likely out of the question. What I saw over the weekend was really a couple of guys who were very similar fighters.
Yeah, one of them happened to be a lot younger.
Yeah, and the way that they fought, and kind of like a almost old school, like kind of lumbering heavyweight kind of fighting.
Put this fight in black and white and you'd be like, is this from the 1940s?
Whereas you see somebody like, Deontay Wilder has this like freakish athleticism, crazy power.
He seems like an alien.
It's built
from
like
2079.
He's not built like George Foreman.
He came back in time to conquer, because he already beat everybody in the future, and he came back in time to conquer today's fighters.
Or you look at somebody like Tyson Fury, who has just this incredible amount of boxing skill. Was practically, resurrected from the dead after that punch he took against Wilder. You even look at somebody like, Anthony Joshua, who was recently beat, but like he's not your typical that like he's built. I mean, he's so like muscular that it's not like a traditional heavyweight. Right. And then you even take somebody like Andy Ruiz, right? Who I have a hard time saying his last name because of the R. Andy Ruiz.
What? How come you can't say Ruiz?
Well, because my mouth wants to do like a W sound.
Ruiz? Andy Ruiz.
Yeah. Where he was really fast. I mean, to get somebody like Anthony Joshua to be able to get in and out and land like those like punches, like it was something to behold, like watching that fight. So that's also very different. All the four of those guys, the two we saw over the weekend, don't fight like those guys.
Yeah.
They fight like this and all I could see is either of them just getting like knocked the F out by any of these heavyweights.
Yeah. Well, then you have other guys that are coming up, like F.A. Ajagba, who's like
more similar to like a Wilder than
And you've got all sorts of good. Tony Yoka is a good example. French fighter is coming up. There's a lot of them. And the thing about Adam Kownacki is that while he's a good boxer, his style is fun to watch, but he doesn't really have. I mean, if you compare him, he most favorably compares to Andy Ruiz, but I would argue that he's a poor man's Andy Ruiz. And Andy Ruiz,
the same as fast.
He's not as fast. He's not as explosive. He's not as naturally gifted in that he can't explode and hit you as hard and as fast. And I don't think he's as good a boxer as Andy. Andy Ruiz is a really good boxer. So I don't think that he would even compare favorably to him. That being said, Chris Arreola has had a very long, very awesome career. He's fought numerous heavyweight champions, including Vitaly Klitschko.
Mm-hmm.
He fought Deontay Wilder. He's fought a who's who of awesome people, and he's been a really fun TV fighter. He's made a lot of money. He's kind of beloved, I think, in boxing because of his personality, and he's affable and he's real. And boxing needs just as many of those type of guys who have great careers that maybe don't win the heavyweight championship of the world. And who knows? Maybe someday he does. I do think that for Arreola, the window is closing fast. And you can kind of see it in the way he fights and even in his body that maybe he doesn't have that youth, that natural vigor that you have when you're younger. And that's just part of naturally declining. But he's had a great career. Kownacki can have a great career too. I just think it's going to look more like Chris Arreola's career than it will like Deontay Wilder's or Tyson Fury's or Vladimir Klitschko or anybody.
And that said, things in the heavyweight division can change in such a way
on a single punch
that people can become heavyweight champion because it was just at the right time. So if you look at somebody like Roy Jones, right?
Yeah.
That was like a special time where he wasn't having to fight. I mean,
you're talking about when he won the heavyweight title?
Yeah.
Yeah, he specifically picked Joshua-Ruiz.
Right. So
over
like
Lennox
he didn't
Lewis
have to fight like a Lennox Lewis or an Ali or a George Foreman or a Klitschko. There's a huge difference between that and then coming up and being like, yoink, I'm going to grab this belt from somebody that I happen to beat, and then I go back down. I don't think there's any. I think that is shrewd and like really tactical. But just to point out that the heavyweight division, just like things can change like a lot.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, who would have thought a year ago that Andy Ruiz would be
right? Yeah. Like nobody. Yeah.
Who would have thought that on March 30th or whatever? Is there a March 30th? Whatever. Before June 1st, who would have thought that would have happened? Not many people thought that he had a legitimate chance to win the fight, and he did.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. But what we really wanted to point out was that we really appreciate the Arreolas, Kownackis,
love it,
and like how important and special they are to the sport, and we're just grateful for them in the heavyweight division.
Grateful for them, and really, there's a lot of fighters would kill to be Arreola, right?
Oh,
He's had a great career, so there's all sorts of guys that make up the sport that we love, and we love and appreciate all of them, and we're really grateful that they do what they do.
And we are grateful when you like, comment, and subscribe because it helps the channel grow. And our goal has been 1,000
subscribers, and we're about
3/4 of the way there. A little over 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah, we need about 200 more. So if you want to create 200 accounts, any people out there, go ahead. It's fine. We won't knock you for it.
Yeah, we don't care how it happens.
We just want it to happen. That is our arbitrary goal.
All right. Good.
You know, we might not ever be heavyweight champion of YouTube, but
no. If I become heavyweight champion, like something has happened with my life.
I said of YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Not of the world. Obviously, that would be difficult for you, being that you're not
I might
a boxer.
Be dead.
And I don't. Are you mean
my
like?
frame can't carry that
did
weight.
You mean like the male heavyweight champion? Because I feel like that's a lot. Like, not only is that a very difficult fight for you, but like I'm not even sure the commission will allow it.
If I put on I'd have to put on
a lot of weight.
70 pounds of muscle.
Technically, you wouldn't have to put on 70 pounds of muscle to fight as a heavyweight, but it would be in your best interest to try to get as big as possible.
Right.
Heavyweights can weigh whatever they want.
Well, I'm saying if I put on 70 pounds of fat, I'm probably not going to be moving a lot in that ring. Now, is it just to be heavyweight or to like win something? I don't know.
Yeah, you're the one that brought up being a heavyweight champion of the world.
Sorry.
What I was talking about was that we would be glad to be the Chris Arreola of YouTube boxing shows. So, we're lovable. We're real. Like, I like to eat, Chris. Me too, brother. Let's meet at I saw on Twitter somebody was talking about how they ran into Chris Arreola once, and he was like running by real fast, and they were like, "Hey, Chris, yo, what's up?" And he was like, "Headed to that breakfast buffet, yo." That's funny, right? I mean, that's awesome. Chris Arreola is awesome.
Yeah. Adios.